Hey there, supplement entrepreneurs. Welcome back to another episode of Health Supplement Business Mastery. Today we're diving into one of my favorite profit-boosting strategies that I've seen work wonders for dozens of my clients. So let me ask you this. Have you ever considered the simple power of offering larger sizes of your supplements? If not, you're about to discover a goldmine of opportunity that's sitting right in front of you. Today, I want to walk you through what I call the Supersizing Strategy, a straightforward approach that can dramatically improve your profit margins while actually giving your customers better value. I've helped implement this with brands across the industry, and the results speak for themselves. Before we dive in, let me give you a quick roadmap of what we're covering today. We'll talk about why larger supplement sizes make economic sense, the psychology behind why customers love them, when and how to implement this strategy, smart pricing approaches, effective marketing tactics, potential challenges you might face, and even a real-world case study that shows this strategy in action. Plus, I'll give you a step-by-step implementation plan you can start using right away. Welcome to Health Business Mastery, the Creative Thirst podcast. I'm your host, Bobby Hewitt. All right, let's get into it. Now, I want to get into why this works from an economic standpoint. I remember sitting down with a client who was struggling with margins, and I told him something that made his eyes light up. I said, no, supersize the bottle. Once you've got a product people love and they're buying it regularly, make a 2-month supply version. Sounds almost too simple, right? But the magic is in the numbers. Think about the cost structure of your typical supplement. You've got your raw materials, packaging, manufacturing, fulfillment, marketing, overhead, and then finally your profit margin. Here's where it gets interesting. When you increase the quantity in a bottle, some costs scale almost linearly, like raw materials, but many others barely budge at all. For example, your packaging costs might only increase by 10 to 15% for a bottle with twice the product. Your shipping might go up 20 or 30 cents, but your overall price goes up significantly, and so does your profit margin. I was working with a client last year who was selling a 30-day supply for about $30. Their cost breakdown looks something like this: $5 for raw materials, $1.50 for packaging, $2 for manufacturing, $3.50 for fulfillment, and about $8 for marketing and customer acquisition. Total cost, $20 with a profit of roughly $10. That's a 33% margin. When we introduced a 60-day supply at $50, the math changed dramatically. Raw materials doubled to $10, but packaging only went up to $1.75. Manufacturing to $3, fulfillment to $3.75, and the marketing cost stayed the same at $8. Total cost, $26.50 with a profit of $23.45. That's a 47% margin. And warehousing, there's hardly any difference in storage space between these two bottle sizes, but one delivers twice the value to customers and significantly more profit to you. So that's the business side of things, but you might be wondering, why do customers actually prefer larger sizes? This isn't just about tricking people into spending more. It's about delivering genuine value in a way that benefits everyone. First, there's the obvious value perception. Customers intuitively understand that larger packages typically offer better value per serving. When they see a 60-day supply priced at less than double the 30-day supply, they immediately recognize the savings. Then there's convenience. I can't tell you how many times I've heard from supplement users that they hate the hassle of frequent reordering. This is especially true for daily essentials like multivitamins, probiotics, and protein powders. There's also what psychologists call decision fatigue. Every purchase decision requires mental energy. By extending the time between purchases, your customers experience less stress around reordering. And let's not forget the security factor. Health-conscious consumers absolutely hate running out of their supplements. Larger sizes give them peace of mind, knowing they have an adequate supply on hand. When I help brands position larger sizes, we don't just focus on saving money, we frame it as a lifestyle enhancement that reduces stress and simplifies health routines. Now let me share something crucial. Timing is everything with this strategy. You don't want to jump into offering multiple sizes for every product right out of the gate. One of the most successful supplement entrepreneurs I've worked with told me we probably sold 10 million of one product before we did another product. Now, you don't need to wait for $10 million in sales, but you should have clear signals of product success before investing in additional sizes. Look for strong reorder rates, positive reviews, stable or growing monthly sales, and customer requests for larger quantities. If you introduce larger sizes too early, you'll tie up capital in inventory that might not sell if the product itself hasn't proven its market appeal. Most of my clients follow a logical progression in their sizing strategy. Start with a standard 30-day supply, that's your baseline. Add a 60-day supply once the product proves successful. Consider a 90-day supply for your absolute best sellers. I'm for 3 sizes of one supplement product once you know people like it. This approach allows customers to choose what suits their commitment level and budget. New customers often start with smaller sizes to test the waters, while loyal users gravitate toward larger options for convenience and savings. Some brands I've worked with have explored specialized sizing strategies like family sizes for supplements commonly shared in households, travel sizes for portability, or professional sizes for products sold through healthcare providers. So you've got your sizing plan in place. But here's where it gets interesting. Pricing these larger sizes requires some finesse. You need to balance providing enough value to incentivize the larger purchase while maintaining healthy profit margins and avoiding cannibalization of your standard sizing. Most successful brands use what I call a tiered discount approach. For your 30-day supply, that's your standard pricing. Let's say $29.95. For your 60-day supply, offer a 15 to 20% discount per unit. So about $49.95 instead of $59.90. For your 90-day supply, bump that to a 25 to 30% discount per unit, something like $69.95 instead of $89.85. This structure rewards commitment while preserving your margins. The percentage discount increases with quantity, but your absolute dollar margin still grows significantly with each step up in size. For subscription programs, consider additional incentives. Maybe an enhanced subscription discount on larger sizes, free shipping thresholds that align with your larger sizes, loyalty points that accelerate with larger purchases. When helping clients calculate optimal price points, we analyze competitor pricing, customer acquisition costs, average customer lifetime value, and price sensitivity within specific customer segments. The goal is finding that sweet spot where customers feel they're getting excellent value while your margins improve with each larger purchase. Once you've got your pricing dialed in, the next piece of the puzzle is all about marketing. How you position and promote these larger sizes dramatically impacts their success. I always recommend tailoring your message to what motivates your specific customer base. For cost-conscious customers, emphasize the per-serving savings. For example, get a full 60-day supply for just 83 cents per day. For convenience-focused customers, highlight time savings. Skip a month of reordering with our convenient 60-day supply. For eco-conscious customers, promote sustainability benefits. For example, Our 90-day supply uses 67% less packaging per serving than monthly bottles. Timing also matters when promoting larger sizes, so consider featuring them prominently to existing customers who already love your products. Introduce new customers to standard sizes first, then educate them about larger options after purchase. Create seasonal preparation campaigns, summer health, winter wellness, that sort of thing. Email segmentation is particularly effective here. Customers who have purchased the same product multiple times are prime candidates for supersizing offers. All right, so far I've painted a pretty rosy picture, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't warn you about some challenges you might face when implementing this strategy. But don't worry, I've got solutions for each. First, there's inventory risk. Larger bottles mean more capital tied up in inventory. To mitigate this, start with modest production runs of your larger sizes. Implement accurate demand forecasting. Consider just-in-time production approaches where feasible, and always monitor product stability and shelf life. Then there's cash flow considerations. While margins improve with larger sizes, the extended time between purchases can impact your cash flow. I recommend balancing your product mix between standard and larger sizes, offering subscription options that distribute revenue more evenly, using those improved margins to build cash reserves, and leveraging inventory financing when appropriate. Formulation stability is another concern. Not all supplements maintain potency equally well in larger containers that are opened and closed over longer periods. Consider stability testing for extended shelf life after opening, appropriate packaging to protect ingredients from oxygen, light, and moisture, clear guidance on proper storage. Finally, larger sizes naturally reduce purchase frequency, which can affect customer engagement. Counter this by developing complementary products that maintain touchpoints, creating content that keeps customers engaged between purchases, building community through channels that don't depend on purchase frequency. I've been talking about this in theory, but let me share a real-world example from a client of mine who specializes in digestive health products. Initially, they offered only 30-day supplies of their flagship digestive enzyme blend at $34.95, with a margin around 35%. Customer feedback was strong, with many ordering monthly without interruption. We analyzed their data and introduced a 60-day supply at $59.95, giving customers a 14% per bottle savings, and a 90-day supply at $79.95, a 14% per bottle savings, 24% per bottle savings. The cost structure of these larger sizes improved margins to 48% and 53% respectively. Within 6 months, 40% of repeat customers chose the 60-day supply, 25% went for the 90-day supply, and only 35% stuck with the 180-day supply 30-day option. Their overall profit margin increased by 9 percentage points. Their customer acquisition cost payback period decreased by 23%, and their average customer lifetime value shot up by 15%. But here's what really impressed me. The larger sizes actually got higher review ratings, with customers specifically mentioning the convenience and value. They also saw an unexpected benefit: fewer customer service inquiries related to shipping delays and subscription management, simply because there were fewer total shipments. So you're probably thinking, all right, Jake, I'm convinced, but how do I actually put this into action for my supplement brand? Here's the step-by-step approach I walk my clients through. First, analyze your product portfolio. Look for products with a proven sales history, with a minimum 6 months of stable or growing sales, high reorder rates, stable formulations with good shelf life, and where raw material costs represent a significant portion of your COGS. Next, develop your packaging and pricing. Design larger packaging that maintains brand consistency, calculate precise costs for the new size options, determine optimal pricing, and establish inventory levels based on current sales patterns. Then create a promotional plan. Update your website to highlight all size options. Develop email campaigns targeting existing customers. Create comparison charts showing per unit savings. And consider bundle options that include your larger sizes. When you launch, start focused. Begin with just 1 to 3 of your best-selling products. Introduce larger sizes to existing customers first. Gather feedback specifically about the new sizes and monitor your key metrics closely during the first 60 to 90 days. After the initial period, optimize based on data. Analyze size selection patterns across customer segments. Adjust pricing if needed. Refine your marketing messages based on feedback and expand the strategy to additional products. Finally, scale your winning approach. Apply the sizing strategy across appropriate products. Update your standard operating procedures to include automatic size expansion for successful products, and consider specialized packaging innovations for the larger sizes. Throughout implementation, track key metrics like revenue and margin by product size selection by customer type, average order value, customer lifetime value, inventory turnover rate by size, and customer satisfaction scores. And that brings us to the end of today's episode on the supersizing strategy in all its profit-boosting glory. As one of my veteran clients puts it, your storage fees don't go up very much, but your margins go up, your average ticket goes up. This is one of those rare win-win scenarios. Customers get better value and convenience, while your business enjoys improved profitability and sustainability. In an industry where margins face constant pressure, this approach offers a refreshingly simple path to enhanced financial performance without compromising product quality or customer experience. I'd love to hear how this strategy works for you. Have you tried offering larger sizes? What results have you seen? Drop me a line at the email in the show notes or leave a comment on our website. And if you found this episode helpful, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with other supplement entrepreneurs who could benefit. Creative Thirst is a direct response digital agency. We work with dietary supplement companies who are struggling to maximize the profitability of their funnels so they can scale. We've optimized many dietary supplement businesses. And in that time, we've uncovered the 3 critical funnels for success. You can get that free report by going to creativethirst.com. Scroll down to the appropriate section and click on the blue Get Your ebook button.